Hello, welcome to my channel, and if you're new here, hi! I'm following on from Friday's Froggy Friday and doing some more Shrinky Dink. I've got the instructions here and I'm basically going to ignore them, sort of, because I'm using a heat gun instead of a cooker, because you can't see my cooker, so there. I've already done a couple. This is a window from Wednesday Addams series. It was so cool to do. I love watching that one go. So I'm going to draw around my template, and this one I've printed out. Oh, and I also did this one, just a bog standard window of a spider web. I'm going to tape it down so it doesn't move everywhere. Now, this is before I realised you were supposed to do black on one side and colour on the other, so it doesn't smudge. You'd think I'd learn these things by watching other people's videos, but no, information just does not stay in my head. My head is full of rubbish, and it does not like to keep things in. The only way I remember stuff is if I do it. I physically do it. And even then, that's not for sure. So I'm going round all these, making it nice and neat, hopefully. And this one did trial me. Yeah. Because I wanted a black bird, but then I thought if I draw the lines in black, you're not going to see the detail. So I didn't draw the lines in black on the bird. I cheated and used a dark blue. Was it a light blue? In between blue, we'll say. And these colours will concentrate as it gets smaller. So the darker the colours you've got, the darker it'll be when it's shrunk. So you've got to be really careful you don't go too dark, because otherwise it'll just turn black. Everything will be black and you won't be able to see it. This is the skull, and I'm colouring in black. And you'll notice that I forget something on this. I do. But I rectify that. It's like I couldn't see it. My eyes were blind to it. So for now, you're going to be watching me basically colour in until the magic happens. Well, I say magic, I say scary magic, because my heart was in my mouth. Because I'm basically doing a piece that should be in the oven because it's big, and I'm using a heat gun, and that's small. Eek. So yeah, happy watching. So now you can see it's all coloured in, and it's quite nice as it is, to be honest. And I'm just showing that you can see it better on the paper. And this is for a different project, but I'm going to use this to flatten it down. I'm not getting rid of any scraps because there's always bits you could use. I have to excuse it hanging about everywhere. Uh, Still dangling. Oh well. And now it's time for the scary bit. I'm trying to hold it down with the end of my favourite tool, and that's not working. And this one, I make a huge boo-boo. Or at least I thought I made a huge boo-boo. I was I was pooping my pants at this point because here, somewhere here, there, see that tear? Oh my God, I thought, oh no, I've ruined it. I'm gonna have to do it again. So now I'm gonna persevere and see what happens. So I carried on melting it. Well, not melting it, but heating it up, getting it hot, and trying not to get it to blow away, and hopefully trying to keep hold of it while while it's curling up. And I'm thinking, oh, I've ruined it. I've ruined it. It looks ridiculous with that split. It's going to not be right, and it's all crinkled up, and oh God, what have I done? What have I done? But like I said, I persevered. I'll get that right in a minute. And it keeps going, and it's got to its shape that I'm needing. Now I just need it to get a bit flatter. So I'm giving it a bit of a push, and then here comes my thing, and slap it down, hold it down, and that'll flatten it. And it'll like, oh, you can just about see the split, but it isn't split anymore, it's back together. So I put it on the paper so you can see it a bit better. And now it's time for me to put some UV resin on the top because I want them all nice and shiny. I mean, they could just do like this. In fact, I think I might do some that's just the Shrinky Dink and not put UV on because it does make it a bit heavier. Because I have an idea of a project. It's gonna have to be a while before I start that one though, because I'm still in Charlie's room, which is coming Thursday. And I put the UV on and go it to the edges. This makes it much more shiny, especially if you do it on the right side. If you do it on the frosted side, it's not so good, which I've realised with the Addams Family window. Might have to put a coat of UV on the back of that one. But you'll see at the end because I'm going to make a sort of template for a church building. It's just something to display the windows on so I can put some lights on so you can see it at the end. Because you'll see the windows in pictures separately, and then you'll see them in the dark in a church building. But like I said, it's just a mock-up, just to display it so I could show the lights through the windows. And what I'm going to do with these is going to make some frames. This is a little tiny window. I'm not keen on that one. I put white on the back and I weren't sure why I did that. And it's also crooked. But it doesn't matter if it's crooked if you're going to put a frame on. And I love them lips. Kisses. I had to play. But there's little pieces I could use. The little bits, I could still shrink them down with colour on, and they could be like little glass shards. I thought that was quite cool. But these windows I'm going to put frames around, but I'm not going to paint the frames because I don't know where I'm putting them, what I'm putting them in, or what colour scheme I'm going to need. So like the Wednesday Addams window, I'm thinking of making that into a room itself. So yeah, that's the crow. And this one, I think that one would go really well as a Edgar Allan Poe room. I think so. So like I said, I'm not colouring the frames when I do it. This is me telling you that I'm going and I'm going to take some photos. But I carried on. I made frames and I baked them when I've done these. So you can see the arched window is cockeyed. But you know when you put your frame on, you can't see that. it's quite cool. So you can compensate. Same as the Froggy window is not quite oval, but again, you can compensate for that. So the arched window, I'm going to make it look like it's twisted wood, but that's easy to do just by putting little lines in with my favourite tool, that thing in my hand. And I'm going to put a rose at the bottom. See, I was thinking Beauty and the Beast, maybe. Not sure because I don't think because this was just a out of my head one. This one, I think it needs to have a rose in the actual stained glass, so I don't think that's quite going to fit. But it could go into a church building. It could go into anything. And this is me making the roses. Now, if you see Thursday's video, you'll see me making a chocolate roses tree, and this is just how I make the roses. Just roll up pieces of polymer clay and then squish it together. And these are my little tiny leaves. And I do put a couple of lines in just to get a bit of detail for when I paint. Because if you do dry brushing, it sinks nicely into those little grooves. So it always makes your paint look darker. If you put a wash on, you could wipe the rest off. So now I'm doing my frog. And the frog I do pretty simple. And you think by looking at it, it won't all stick, it'll all fall off. But it does. It sticks quite well. And because you've got UV on the Shrinky Dink, you can put UV in the oven. And that was something that April at Dragons and Dresses reminded me of. Because I just didn't think about it. And she did tell me a while back, and I was like, oh, I can do that. That's fine. So yes, that worked. But you can't put epoxy in. That just melts. And I'm smoothing this all down. And it's tricky to get off the mat, so I have to just slide my knife underneath. I do have a polymer clay blade, but that thing, I'm not safe to be around. That is dangerous. I have sliced my fingers no end of times, especially when I forget which end I'm holding. I need to sort that out so I can use it, because it's just, it's madness. It's absolute madness. So now I'm putting on some twisted rope on the bottom, just a couple of pieces, just to give it something else, just something else to look at. Although looking at it, I'm thinking, why did I do rope when I could have just done tiny mushrooms? Madilbert. I think this is a rose too. Yeah, just do a couple of tiny roses, put that on. So I guess flowers, nature, that'll do. I was going to do a big lily pad. Then I thought I was going to take up all the picture, so no, not do that. So I'm going to bake it again. And there you are. There's the pictures, and don't forget to keep an eye out for the ones at the end, because they'll be glow in the dark. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed watching, and I shall see you all again soon. Bye bye!
In a world of shadows, light does sing. Goth unicorn with a blackened wing. Happy she dances under moonlit nights, creating beauty, spurring on delight. Her hooves tap softly to the softest bells, crafting wonders in her secret spells. From threads of silver and whispers bright, a tapestry woven in the dark of night. Her hooves tap softly to the softest bells,